Well, they're brand new. I know they were.
Hello? Hello? Can everybody hear me? Awesome. These are new mics. Are they working much better? I heard that was a problem, so we took care of it. Yeah, we got you guys new mics. Well, thank you all for being here. Some of you have met me, others have not. Well, my name is Shakib. I'm obviously joined here by Molly, our new executive director. Won't be taking too much of your time. I definitely wanted to get into a room with all of our wonderful residents and provide a high-level overview of kind of some of the changes that we have already started and some that have already gone, and some that we might be doing in the near future as well too. And I will also have some time towards the end to take any questions that might affect all the residents as a whole. If there are one-off situations, I do recommend you come see me after, come see Molly after, and we can discuss those one-on-one rather than kind of taking up everybody's time. We do have a short time frame because I know we have a class right after this session as well too, so we want to make sure we get it going. Well, as you guys all know, we Oakmont and Ivy took over this community's management as of May 1st, and we were in here from actually a couple of days before May 1st, just getting ready for that. And when we did take over, we had a small army with us, about, I think it was about 20 of us, regional folks that came in to make sure everything goes smooth and as easy as possible. And we were very fortunate to walk into a community that had great leadership with Molly and all her other department directors in here. So it made our job a lot easier because, you know, they obviously know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a very long time, and we just want to make sure we are providing them with the right tools and support so they can continue to succeed on that. And that's all what we're all about, is support. We want to make sure we're there for our executive directors and all of our department heads as well too. Some of the big changes that we have obviously conducted is signages, and we're going to continue doing those in the next couple of months as well too. As we all saw the signage in the front, we have some temporary signage up for the Carlotta, and pretty much anything that has a fountain on it or the fountains will be removed. Some it's going to take a little bit longer. I think there might be one on here as well too. We don't want to take away anything that might ruin it, but it's gone already. Okay, great. Yeah, so that's going to be a big project for the next couple of months. We're going to rewrap all the vehicles as well too. So those will be changing soon. We have been very busy moving furniture around. We started a little moving company as well too. We've restaged a lot of our common areas, as you saw. Some of the card games, the billiards room, and the library as well too has been restaged and repurposed. We've tried to move things around that doesn't affect our residents as easy. If we did, we would obviously communicate those. And with all of the excess furniture that we have, we've actually stored them all in one apartment, and we're gonna do a garage sale for our employees of a sorts.
Sure, we'll call it a garage sale.
Well,
kind of a sale of sorts.
A sale of sorts. We're just going to be a $5 sale for all the furniture that we have, and we're going to use that fund right back for the employees as well too. So rather than having that just kind of being stored away to collect cobwebs or just being thrown away, we wanted to make sure our associates get something out of that as well too for all of their hard work that they have been putting. The furniture, of course, it's still in great shape. So they can definitely be able to use all of that. We got all new uniforms for all of our team members. They're all in their IV polos as of right now until their permanent uniforms come in, which should be shortly, I would say in the next month or so. We're going to receive all of their permanent uniforms, so all of them are going to be dressed appropriately for their respective departments. Another great thing that has been added is bistros, really in all of our common areas throughout the community. We have, I believe, over 6 bistro stations set up for hydration, from coffees to fruits to waters as well too. and we make sure, of course, those are replenished on a daily basis. Something that was very important to us was life safety. Part of, I believe, the first 2 days, our health services team came in and walked the entire community, went apartment to apartment and to all of the residents as well, to checking all of the pendants and all of the pole cords in every single apartment and common area as well too. We wanted to make sure they all work, and anything that needed to be replaced was replaced immediately as well too. Those are things that, of course, are top priority for us. Things that we're working on right now is updating all of the physicians' assessments. So prior to all of our residents moving in, we have a physician's assessments completed by your primary physician. So there are some that are outdated, or there's some that just needs updating. So we're working on that. We actually have a doctor coming in on the 22nd and 23rd, I believe, that's going to be working with about 30 to 40 residents to get those physicians' assessments updated. Once we have all of our residents' physicians' forms updated, what we're going to do as our health services team is going to be coming around and doing updated assessments for all of our residents as well too. The main point of that is to make sure that we are providing the proper level of care for all of our residents. Most of you are not receiving any type of care, which is great, but we want to make sure we're aware of all of your needs, and we will be there in case anything is, of course, required of us. All of our team members that are coming in from regional levels, what their main job was to make sure we get all of our systems in place from all the different departments. They've also gone through and audited all of the files in the community to make sure everything is appropriate and we have everything that we need, whether it's a federal law, state law, whatever the case is. We wanted to make sure we have everything in place for our community so we can meet all of the guidelines. And they're going through and creating new files for all of our residents and all of our associates as well too, just to make sure we're starting this new page fresh. We're going to be, I know some of the furniture that has been brought into the lobby is not our favorite, and unfortunately that was done prior to us coming in. So that was a watermark thing, and we are working on seeing what our options are, if we can upgrade it, change it, or whatever the case is. There's a lot of work being done behind the scenes to see what we can possibly do with that. We are going to have a CapEx walk with our capital investment team as well in the next couple of weeks, walking throughout the community with myself and Molly and some of our other regional teams, just to see what this community needs and what can we invest right back into the community and upgrade as well too. So that's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. I know Watermark did one a couple of months ago, which this is where that lobby furniture came from, and the flooring in the north lobby as well too. Those were Watermark things. So what we're going to do is come in, bring our own team, and have a fresh set of eyes in the community and see what are our areas of opportunities. Another great thing that actually recently just happened on last Friday, we had a job fair in our community. I know a lot of you saw hundreds of people in here. Well, actually it was 82 people came in for that job fair, which was a tremendous turnout. I think that's the best one that we have done as a company, and I know that's the best that you guys have done in the community as well too. We actually hired 10 associates from that. So yeah, that is definitely. Especially in these times, it's really hard to get quality candidates, or really candidates at all. From us, for having 82, we wanted to make sure we get the best of the best. So, and I think with that 10, we definitely do have the best in the community. Some of the promotions and some of the changes that we've had to our management team, I definitely want to highlight that as well. But it's really great for me to stand up here and say that all leadership positions in this community are actually filled, which is wonderful to hear. First and foremost, of course, Molly was promoted over to executive director. She's been here for 16 years now, which is amazing. Frances, some of you might have known from the business office, she was the assistant. She's actually got promoted to the business office director as well too. Mark was promoted over to the marketing director, and Rebecca in health services was promoted over to the resident care coordinator. So she's going to be working closely with Helen. And we did hire a marketing director to work alongside Mark, and her name is Mariah. And we hired a marketing coordinator named Monica. And we also brought in our own chef, Chef George, so that's an exciting one too. Chef George obviously has many years of experience in the industry and also with our company as well too. And the last change that we did was Shane's office is actually being relocated. So Shane's office is going to be right outside of the cafe, the Carlotta Cafe, CC's, as you all know as CC's. So right outside where the previous human resources director was there, that's gonna be Shane's permanent office as well too in the next couple of weeks. Those are really all of, for the most part, the high level overviews that we have of some of the things that we have immediately impacted. We go through a very extensive, long checklist of all the different items that we need to make sure gets going in this community to make sure it's successful and going. I myself am part of the transitions team, and I work as a tripod with the regional director for this community, which is Osvaldo, and you will all get to meet him soon as well too. He has been in and out of the community, but in the meantime, in the first couple of weeks, as the transition's in, I am the direct contact for the community. Of course, Molly is the executive director, so we do still want all of the items going directly to her. And if anything ever needs to be elevated, obviously it will come over to us, and we will extend it over to Osvaldo as well too, to make sure he's in the loop with everything. And there's a lot of great things that are going to be coming in this community as well too, but those are all going to be in a very slow process. You know, we want to make sure from activities to the business office to health services, everything is taken care of where it's not going to affect your day-to-day nor their day-to-day. We do a lot of the things behind the scenes with our team coming in. That's why we bring our own small little army, just to make sure it doesn't affect anybody's day-to-day operations. But that's really the update that I have as of right now. I will take this opportunity to answer any questions you might have, and I will also stay behind for a couple of minutes in case you want to talk to me one-on-one as well too. All right.
Hello. Well, many of us have been pretty impressed with a lot of the changes that have been going on. What I do want to ask you though is, when we arrived here, we were given a white binder that contained a lot of information about the Carlotta, the programs, and, for example, the wellness program, and a lot of things. Are you familiar with that?
To be honest, I am not, but I can.
Okay. Well, we'll show you one if you need one. But is there anything that the new administration is going to provide similar to that, to bring us up to date with a good reference book to guide us, and to provide us with information, policies, activities, all kinds of things?
Do you mean like a residence handbook?
Yes.
Yes, we do have our, yes, we do have, we kind of used what we had in place as an outline, and we've kind of enhanced it with our own verbiage and our own items as well too. So we do have that available already for any new residents coming in. We, for the most part, are not going to be changing any of your like amenities or anything like that for you to need any new handbook in place. Well, but we do have that available with our own verbiage.
Well, the problem with the one we have now is it has a lot of information, but it has a lot of outdated information.
Yes.
So what many of us would like to see is something updated that's provided by the new management.
Absolutely, I'll definitely work on, I'll review, if you don't mind coming see me with yours, and we can kind of go through that and figure out and I can send something new for all of the residents.
Sounds great, thank you.
I have a question, and it's personal in the sense that after the COVID and all the things that we went through, I looked at this change as something I thought was going to be a great psychological boost for us, and that was the painting of the entire outside. I thought this is an elderly facility, it would be a great psychological change, and that was on the agenda before the change came over here, and I realized it's been put on the burner. And I know it may be too soon for you to know what you're going to do, but I'd like to emphasize that I think that's an important thing to consider.
That was painting, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be part of our capital walk when we do have that. It's going to be within the next 2 weeks, and I know Molly has emphasized that as well too.
I have concern about the pavement. You would come in and the first thing you see is very, very poorly maintained streets. Is there any way that we could enhance that or take care of that so that our visitors who come to visit us and also look us over, that, and it could be a safety problem for those who walk. Thank you.
Of course, and of course, I've already created a wish list of all the different items that we would all like to see. Like I've taken Molly's items into consideration, all the other department heads into consideration, including the regional team that hasn't been in here into consideration. And we're going to compile a list, and when our team comes in, we're going to go through that list as well too. So those are all things that we are considering, and the pavement was one of them as well too.
When the team comes in, I think they should look at the north lobby. I was noticing last night that there's a safety hazard there, a tripping hazard between the carpet and the new tile. There's about 3/8 of an inch. The tile is above the carpet, and I believe in the elevator it's more like a 1/2 inch.
Yeah, and that's something that we don't have to wait for anybody to come into. If it's a safety thing, we'll definitely look at those right away. And I appreciate you making a comment about that.
I'll tell you later.
I've got a couple of questions for you. When your first transition meeting was here, I asked the question whether you were going to have a fully functioning phone system and a point-of-sale system that functions when you took over. Can you give me an update on that?
I don't have a time frame for you. We do have the phone systems actually in our little office upstairs. We do have the phone systems. We're just working with our IT team to be able to come in and install it all. It's a very rigorous system that they have here that's very outdated. So with a new system going in, it's going to require a lot of hardwiring and a lot of updated mechanics to go in. So it's a very big process. We're working on that. I just don't have an exact time frame right now. But the actual equipment is here in the community.
My other question has to do with LifeLoop. I understand we're going to be continuing with it, but LifeLoop only works if you can access it. Are we going to pursue that TV channel, and do you have any timetable on that?
And that one actually, LifeLoop with the channel insertion, it's a very complicated system that requires us to work with Charter and a third-party vendor to come and install it as well too. I'm actually in contact with both of them. So I've reached out to both of those. So I kind of just continued where Watermark left it. I picked up the pieces, and I'm not trying to speed it up and try to get this as quickly as possible. Because LifeLoop is a great thing to have, but it's only as good as the channel insertion. You need it in all of the apartments. So we're trying to speed up that process. It's just I'm relying on a third party for that one, so I can't give you an exact time frame. But I am in direct communication with them myself, trying to speed up this process.
My next question has to do with some of the items that have been removed that were of great benefit to some of us residents. Number one is the cold water ice machine at the pool, at the main pool. That's gone. No explanation. Is it ever coming back? Because we do a workout in the pool. We like to get out and get some cold water, and that's missing. The other thing is the benches in the front of the building are missing, and that's really upset a lot of people that really can't operate very well. They're dropped off at the front. They need to sit down. With the new furniture in the lobby, that can't happen. And now the benches are gone. What are we doing with that?
As far as the pool, we're talking about the pool
The
behind
main
CC's.
pool, no, the main
this
pool
Okay.
used to have an ice machine that the landscapers used all the time,
Okay.
and a cold water outlet. We always brought our own cups and used that extensively. And now that it's gone, with no obvious plan or whatever, we'd like to know, is it going to be replaced? And if not, why not?
To be honest, I don't know. Was that moved by? That wasn't moved by us, so I'm not sure where that is because myself and my team did not move that because we repurpose it. If it's like water, what we'll do is we'll switch it out to our container similar to like the bistro station, to also the spa waters that we added in the fitness area. So we're not going to just remove anything for real no purpose. So I'll look into.
You will look into it then.
I'll definitely look into that and see what we can do for that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And as far as the benches, everything is pretty much, we're working on upgrading everything. Those benches, kind of, we repurposed them similar to a couple of other items that we did, because we did add the bistro section right outside the front lobby as well too, where that has additional seating. But I'll definitely see what we can put out front for our residents while they're waiting for pickups or drop-offs as well too.
The last one has to do with the rockers around the fire pit. They're gone. They were utilized as far as I know. I utilized them. Now that we've got that uncomfortable stuff that used to be back on the patio. So why has that change been made?
Well, the rockers are pretty much falling apart. Those were, so when we walked around, we looked at what furniture we have in place to see what we can move around if necessary, if anything needs to be replaced. Those rockers were up there because they were pretty much falling apart. 2 of them were falling apart. So we actually moved 2 of them and put it around, but then we realized we can just kind of shift the furniture that was right outside the restaurants there, because we wanted to bring additional seating there, so when we do have like a party or the Sunday brunches, we can have additional people sitting there. So we were able to just shift that furniture there and remove the rockers all in all, because again, 2 of them were falling apart and there was just 2 others that were there that just looked completely off and mismatched with the current furniture that's there.
It may be mismatched, but it was a lot easier to get in and out of.
A rocker would be easier than those, really?
Absolutely, because you get a good boost.
That's a good.
Would it be possible for us to get a list of the current, either continuing or new associates with the contacts, a phone number and email that we could have on hand?
Yeah, I think Molly actually has an answer to that.
We are going, once we get Shane moved, we're going to update the director phone roster, if you will, with the new extensions of the new director. So that should be coming mid next week, and that'll get put into everybody's box.
There we go. Molly's on it.
I'll be right with you, Joe, okay?
We used to have a weekly chronicle, and I haven't seen one in 2 weeks. What's happening?
So the platform that is used for that currently is called MailChimp. I am getting training on it tomorrow so that we can resume that weekly update.
Yeah, so that is definitely coming. It's just in a different format.
I would like to get back to the furniture, please, in the north lobby. What happened to all the pretty furniture that Cora one of the residents that passed away had donated here. We had a beautiful, beautiful north lobby. The furniture was beautiful, there were lovely plants around, comfortable places to sit down. Came home one night with my daughter and she said, what happened to all the furniture? The next day, we had the old main lobby furniture stuck in there. It's ugly, it's old, not a plant in sight. Why did you take out the nice furniture? And is that up in the room that you're gonna be selling off to somebody? Why don't you sell the stuff that's in the north lobby right now and bring our furniture and our plants and all the prettiness that was in that lobby? It was welcoming, it was warm, it was pleasant to go down and sit there. Now you walk through and think, what is this? And why would you take all the old furniture, old, from the main lobby and stick a few pieces of it in the north lobby? And also, every day we go down there and part of it's been moved to this wall and part has been moved to another wall. No matter how you move it around, it's not gonna look pretty.
Yeah, we were looking, again, part of us coming in and restaging and repurposing furniture is we wanted to see what was in the best possible shape and what looks the best. What was there in the north lobby was, again, part of it, it was completely cracking or ripping. Those are all things that we had to remove right away. I understand that the old main lobby furniture might have been older, but those are in way better condition than what was originally in the north lobby. This is why we had to remove everything from the north lobby and repurpose those items in there. And we wanted to have obviously the best quality furniture in there, and what was here was the best quality. Everything that was in the north lobby did need to be replaced. It was very outdated and pretty much falling apart as well too. And then no matter, honestly, and Molly and I were just kind of talking about that north lobby, no matter what we put there, the flooring just looks completely off, and no matter what we put there, it just does not go. It does not go well, so we were just stressing about that.
Went a lot better.
Yeah,
this stuff, it clashes, and that other stuff that you said was falling apart and outdated. Outdated? Yes. Compared to what you put in there now, that old stuff,
Yeah.
you were refurbishing the main lobby.
Yeah.
Because it was old, so we moved it right away to the north lobby, so it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, we're right now, we're obviously in the phase of trying to put Band-Aids on some of these bigger issues, and that was part of it. We can't just possibly come in to the community and bring an entire set of brand new furniture with us. So we wanted to repurpose everything in our community. We do have a lot of beautiful furniture in place, and we wanted to replace anything that's really not functioning or that's falling apart.
And you do plan to put other furniture in the north lobby?
Those are all going to be part of our capital project, capital walk. The north lobby is part of our wish list as well too, for us to walk and see what we can do, because obviously it's an area that has a lot of opportunity.
Well, can you at least bring some of the plants back in and soften the room up?
I'll definitely look for some plants there.
I'll make a deal with you. I'll buy the furniture that was in the lobby and very comfortable for us who are a little elderly. And I'll give you the $5 and you can bring it back and cover it. To any cover that you want, just recover it. But let us have, it was comfortable. Thank you.
I appreciate your deal.
It was beautiful furniture, very expensive, by the way.
One thing you're not going to see when you do a walkthrough, and what I'm going to bring up, you have to go into each person's apartment to see it. The front doors of all the apartments are nowhere near the size of the openings. So when you're standing on the inside and you're looking out, especially at night, you see nothing but hall light. And what is wrong about all this is the hall noise is, if you're sitting in your kitchen or you're doing something, it's terrible. You can hear a person's conversation. Somebody's got to figure out a way that these doors get some kind of insulation around it. Because I don't know why they were always made much smaller than the entrance itself. Doesn't make sense. But thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Could you repeat what he said?
He was saying part of the walk, just to keep in mind, is some of the interior doors, they're outlined it's the doors smaller than the actual frame of the door.
I think you're in need of a compliment right now, and the new mattresses in the guest rooms are very good. Our daughter-in-law stayed in one of them last night, and the mattress was perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a comment to make. We were in a casita. My wife was very happy that we moved over here because she figured she would get out of the kitchen. However, she is spending more time in the kitchen than she had originally planned on, mostly because of the quality that we found in the dining room. In the beginning, it's improved considerably, I will say that, but she still enjoys cooking once in a while. My question is there any chance of getting owner's manuals for various appliances? Because sometimes they're almost impossible to figure out from the lettering on the instrument themselves or on the appliance. And we would like to be able to answer our questions. I don't want to take the blame every time that she can't get the oven to work properly, because I don't know the first thing about it myself.
Online.
If that were possible.
Yeah, no problem. I know there is going to be the manuals online, but we'll work on having our maintenance teams have those in hand as well too for all of our residents that are coming in. But I'll definitely make sure Nestor comes with one for you.
Hi. I know that Watermark have the university classes that a lot of people enjoy. Do you guys have something similar or some kind of educational things planned?
Well, ours is a little bit different. I believe you were talking about the Watermark University ones. Yeah. Our programming is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be, obviously, Vanessa is still leading our programming. So she's going to have her hands directly tied to that. So if that's something that our community loves, we're going to absolutely go ahead and continue those, just obviously in a different format. Got one more here.
Is there any chance to have the menus flagged with gluten-free or lactose-free for any menu with a fancy name? We have no idea what's in there. So it would be important for people with diet concerns.
Okay, that's something I'll definitely take up with the chef. Is there any other questions that we might have?
Do you have any plans to update the transportation or vehicles?
What's wrong with it?
And
You don't want to get into that one.
I'll definitely speak with Molly about that, figuring out a little bit more about that.
I want to go back to the benches. For 3 years, I've tried to get benches. 2 on the longest street, I don't know what direction it is.
The east.
East. On the east sidewalk, it goes on forever when you walk, and there's no place to sit. And I think we really could use that, because I need it.
Sounds good, I'll look at those. And we're talking about like towards the ends, like exiting the, yeah.
East side.
Actually, all four sides. If you like to do the perimeter, all four sides should have a bench.
I'm pretty sure they have it on all the exterior exits of this building. They have benches there.
The north. Well, no,
Just
this
north.
is, perimeter walking.
Okay.
Perimeter walking.
Sounds good.
Because that's a straight walk.
We'll definitely look at that. I think we should have a question right there. Okay.
I went online and looked at the information on the Carlotta, and I noticed in our services, there's two new things. The first one is weekly housekeeping and linen care, and the second one is pet care and walking. Are those going to be in the future?
Well, again, all services that we have ongoing right now gets directly carried over. We're not making any changes or implementing anything. And if we do implement anything, we will give notice, or if we're changing anything, we will give prior notice to it. Our website is definitely something I will review with Molly as well too. It might not be entirely accurate at this point because again, we're coming in, we're kind of figuring out how does the community work, what are the things they have in place, what don't they have in place, and what are the updates we need to possibly make. So I appreciate you pointing that out, so I will definitely review that.
Thank you.
Okay, well, as I promised, I wasn't going to take too much of your time. I just wanted to get everybody together. I know you guys might have had a lot of questions for me. We're going to continue doing meetings similar to this as well, to where myself or somebody else from my team or Molly will come in and provide updates as part of this transition as well, to some of the updates we might have or any of the big changes that are coming your way. But also, you don't have to wait for a format like this to ask questions or to bring any of your concerns. You can always see me. I'm going to hang out outside the room as well too. If you would like my business card, if you want to reach out to me directly, you should all have Molly's contact as well too if you need to reach us directly for any questions or concerns. But I got a lot of notes from our meetings, and so I'm definitely going to review those and seeing if there's any small little victories that I can do right away for you all as well too. Okay? I appreciate you all. Thank you for choosing this community to be your home, and if there's anything you need, please come see us. Thank you again.